why are you cheating, or why do you choose to cheat if you feel like you have everything you need at home, in a sense?
I got a question.
Go ahead.
Am I cheating if you married, but I'm single, but I'm cheating with you? Am I cheating? Because I'm not cheating.
Who's married?
You married, but we kicking it.
The married person is cheating.
I'm not cheating.
The married
Just
person
want
is
to make
cheating.
sure. All right.
The married individual is cheating. What do you think, Gary?
Beautiful.
It's a good question.
I'm not cheating.
You're not. The single person is not cheating.
Right.
Technically, no.
They don't have a moral.
Because I don't have a commitment to your partner or to you.
Nope.
I don't owe nobody no explanation, so you can't include me into your cheating fiasco.
No.
And your girl can't get mad at me because I didn't vow to her. You did.
Now, you might not be a cheater, but you may be a
What?
What might I be?
Adulteress.
a home wrecker.
That's cool too. I can't be a home wrecker because you stepped outside your home. You let me in.
Not if you
let
willingly
me
knew
in. It
that
doesn't
you had
matter.
a commitment relationship.
You committed. I didn't. You let me in your house. It's your responsibility to say, my house is closed off. I love my wife. But if you let me in your house, black man, then say, that's what's up. You did that. You shouldn't have came outside.
So I got the question then. If that's the case, then whose responsibility is it to stop that?
Yours. You in a relationship.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Because I was about to say it was joint.
No, it's not. Because when I get my man, I'm not fucking with you no more. Because I'm not cheating on my man. So I ain't gotta end nothing with you unless I want to.
So let me get this straight. You're okay with kicking it with somebody that's cheating.
If that's where I'm at in my life.
Right, but when it's time for you to get yours, it's like, hey, all bets are off.
Yeah, because I'm not a cheater. You are. I'm single. And when I commit to this man, I ain't fucking with you no more.
But you're okay being
with
the side chick in a sense for a minute.
Well, not necessarily. You my sneaking link. I ain't got nothing. I hook up with you when I feel like it. But I'm not your side piece.
She's not saying she's your side piece.
She
got her option.
In his mind, or his side piece.
If that's what
in
you
his
want me
mind,
to be.
That's fine.
If he's married,
but look,
if he's married,
his experience and her experience is two different fucking things.
Exactly.
I get that. But what I'm saying, in his mind, you're still.
What's in his mind?
That might be what
his mind
she
is
feels.
his, and her mind is hers. See what I'm saying?
But where does the connect part come?
I'm coming to learn.
Whoever feels they're wrong.
That there's no. And back in the day when we were growing up, there were such things as labels, boundaries, boxes. Nowadays,
there is none.
Literally none.
It's disrespect all over across the board.
There's literally no boxes.
Maybe the labels
and no
was the
labels
disrespect.
And no boundaries.
Because we don't understand how we got into all of those labels. So why would the open box be the disrespect to the whole community versus putting labels on everybody that's not necessarily anything?
I think it brings order to an extent.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not all about.
We don't want to live in chaos.
I mean, if I know that I'm trying to find somebody to help me work out, I need to know that you are a trainer. I don't need you to be like, I just kind of do my thing and get people in shape. To some extent, I need to know, do you fit in this box of what I'm looking for?
Okay.
Trainer, help me get right, eating healthy. Like there's some value to being in a box and understanding what I am dealing with.
True. On
the other hand, I do recognize that you can't put people in boxes and expect them to fit this mold that you have decided that you want them to. So I can understand the detriment to boxes, but I also can understand the importance and values of boxing because it does bring some sense of orderly understanding to this chaotic world that we call life.
True.
Okay.
True. So, answers your question about your.
I just want to know would I be a cheater if I'm cheating with somebody that's married? That's all I want to know.
But peep this. Society would consider you one. Tell you why. Because they're considering you what he was saying earlier, which is the home wrecker. Meaning that even though you're not a home wrecker, but you're trying to get a need through somebody that is already committed dedicated, and vowed to someone else.
But are they really, if they entangled with me? Are they really committed to their partner?
No, well, we know
Okay.
that. We know that. But the reality of it is that society is going to think that you were the reason that he got untangled, even though you know that he came to you. You understand what I'm saying?
But society is the reason that we're in this place.
Society is the reason
society
why we're at this table.
can't tell you. And that's the thing, when you come to a certain place in your life, and it took me a couple decades, I'm not just to release my age, but it took me a couple decades to realize that society, people, whomever, mama, daddy, has no bearing over who I am in this world.
True.
So what you think about me, at some point, if I allow that into my spirit, then yeah, that can take me down.
Yes.
But if I don't allow that in my spirit, you have no control over me. So what your thought is about me, that's your thought about me. That's your shit. That's not mine.
So how long it takes us to get there? I think we all are just now.
Maturity, experience, it took me a long time.
It took me a long time
to curb out what people actually thought about me.
Because society is just these group of people. I mean, because it's all of us, but it's a group of people that's trying to figure things out. So they do have labels in this whole box that you say, okay, so if you do that, this one is gonna be that, and you do that, we're gonna put this name on that one. But I gotta agree to that name to be it.
True.
So if you just telling me what all of these things is and I don't agree with it, you just talking. So it's us against us. That's what we're doing. Trying to understand us, trying to understand.
And then we get into these mental battles with ourselves that you already supposed to know who you are. So you ain't even got to go to a struggle like that. What the struggle is with yourself is that you're taking what somebody else said about you and you're battling with what you know about yourself.
Right.
I should never be able to allow somebody to tell me and get that in my spirit that I'm battling with myself like that. And, but that's where we are. So that's why we all look the same. We all getting our hair alike. We all getting our body alike. We all want to get charges. We all got to get ones because we care what each other think.
It's about keeping us in the box.
Exactly.
But say if we had that box and we made that box individual, where I decide what my 4 walls is, and then I can take that box to you and show you my walls. You get what I'm saying? It'll be different than me getting in this relationship and I'm telling you I ain't got none of this, and you put things in place. Now I have to be this box that you designed, and now I'm going to design a box for you to be in because you designed my box.
So how do you find people? I guess this is a question for all of us. How do we find people that have a understanding or can or are willing to understand how we operate? Because I don't have an issue if a woman came to me and said, hey, I'm looking for ABCD. And if I don't check ABCD, I don't have a problem at 38 years old now with just saying, hey, I don't think I meet your requirements. And appreciate it. But because maybe it don't even matter, maybe it was just because it was Dion, that ABCD, you should be able to meet these. So now I'm upset because you don't want to meet these. You see what I'm saying? It's a position that we put each other in that puts us in boxes with each other.
But that comes from accepting a person for exactly who they are. I shouldn't be trying to take you out of your box. I should either be trying to adapt to come into your box or for you to open up one of them walls so you can let some of that flow into this relationship. I shouldn't be trying to change you. I should only be trying to make you better.
Right.
The problem is we put these ideas in our mind of what we think our partner should be.
True.
And then we try to make them become that instead of accepting them for exactly who they are.
Yep.
And if you can't adapt to that, like you said, I enjoyed this. This was a pleasure, but I'm gonna exit stage left. But when you haven't got their maturity at a maturity level, you feel like it's either you gonna adapt to that person, you're gonna settle, or you tired of being lonely, or if for some reason, but you already know that this person ain't meeting nothing you want. Nothing you want, but because you're tired of being single or you're tired of being lonely or whatever the case may be, you be like, I'm accepted and maybe he'll change. Or if I do this, maybe if I buy him this red shirt. He told you his favorite color ain't red. He don't like red. He despises it. But I like red shirts. So if I buy him this red shirt, he might worry on it that he'll like it. He might like red. That's horrible. That's a horrible.
Amazing to me that people do that.
But people
do that.
People literally do stuff for you that they want for themselves, knowing that that's not what you are.
Yes.
That's how do you adjust to that?
Just the what people
You don't. Because if you adjust to it now you're going back to this beginning conversation where somebody's putting you in a box that's not you.
Mhm.
So I don't have to. So like you just said, when a girl come and I want A, B, C, D from you, and you say, well, sugar, I can't give you A, B, C, D, and now she mad. Well, why are you mad? Because he was respectful enough to say, hey, we tried it, it ain't working.
Mhm.
So, panel, why do people cheat?
We don't know.
Okay.
It's a choice. It's a choice.
I do think it's a choice, but even more than all the reasons people have to cheat, not being happy, not being able or wanting something more, all these different things, I think it's a lack of communication. General, it's a lack of communication. If you can't communicate what you want and what you need and what you need to do to get it, then that makes you, for lack of better words, the cheater, because everybody deserves an option. And if you got all of these options in your mind, I want this and this, or shorty look good, so I'm gonna see what that's like, and you can't communicate that with the person you say you love, then yeah, you're a fucking cheater, because you cheating them out of their opportunity to know who you are and to learn who you are and to be in this relationship. You done took that relationship to another relationship that you only in. And I feel like the lack of communication is the cheating.
I have a different way to ask the same question the story just asked. Why is cheating the answer? Because I know people, great granddaddy cheated, so they granddaddy cheated, and they daddy cheated, so I cheated, or they great grandmama did it.
Because I care about my pleasure. I care about my happiness.
Mhm.
See, if I'm in this relationship and I'm not being fulfilled, but I ain't communicated that with my partner. I'm selfish because I care about fulfilling my needs without even giving my partner a chance to fulfill them. So what I'm gonna do is, hey boy, I got a man, but we can be friends though.
Mhm.
See, I'm feeling my flesh. I'm feeling my spirit. Whatever I feel like I need to make me happy, that's my selfish way. When it shouldn't be like that. I'm in a relationship and I should be selfless. Babe, listen, we ain't had sex in about a week, and when we do, it's just like this, and you don't take off your shirt no more. Like, you don't give a damn. You won't even tell me and give me the opportunity.
But that's the issue.
But that's
right?
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Give me the
I don't-
opportunity before I go flirting with this man. Let me go tell my man, can you take a shower first and get sexy for me like I do
So
for
I guess the
you?
better question is why are we not communicating our needs in a relationship before we even go
Because
to the cheating?
you taking that person's option. In your mind, you projected that if I go do this, oh, shorty finna slide. Shorty ain't finna stay with me if I do this. You know you in the room. You know you finna fuck this up. So you telling yourself, if I go tell her this, she's gonna do this, this, and this. So you lie and you go cheat
My thought process was
because
always
you still want this shit.
because I've been
And you
on this side,
you
so
probably
I keep
want
my-
the person too. And you don't want the person to leave you, and you wanting this little option, but you should have had the balls.
It was the assumption for me. So
Or
I didn't
don't want to see. I ain't
I
blaming
didn't
nobody.
communicate
See,
it
he
because
don't sound
I
wrong.
assumed that woman wasn't gonna do it anyway.
Right.
So I went and got my need met because I assumed if I told her, she was gonna already accuse me of it anyway. So what was the point?
Mhm.
You see what I'm saying? Not knowing that you never know the true answer to that.
Until you actually put it on the table.
There you go.
But I think to add to that, it's this, in my opinion, we can hit this question from multiple angles. But I think to tag on to what you're saying, it's even if you communicate that need, because people will communicate that need. I need you to do that. I need you to shower. I need you to freshen up. I need you to do X, Y, and Z, whatever that may be.
Right.
It's the unwillingness to do that on the other person's part,
Mm.
to make that change
Mm.
for the person that's requesting it.
What if it's not them, they have to make the adjustment if they want
People
that.
don't, and people not willing to change. That's a big part of it.
Sometimes, and I'm not exposing nobody. So, my partner and I own a barber hair salon. So we meet people all the time, different clients. And I'm not going to expose who the person is, but she said to me, she's been married 20 plus years. So they decided to go to marriage counseling. And she said this hurt her so bad because all he had to do was say it. He said to the pastor who their counselor is, he was like, she come to bed with this purple thing on her head, looking like a shelf and this. And she was like, all you had to do was ask me to take that off. And he was like, you ain't been wearing it. She was like, well, I've been having this purple thing for like 7 years and you just now standing in front of the counselor. So if your wife is not being sexually pleasing to you, like the look that's getting you off, you couldn't tell her, baby, take that purple bonnet off your head and take that t-shirt off. But I'm a person that be striving all the time, like, ladies, how you look outside, go to bed like that too, because we know men are visual. But then in the same breath, I'm a little bit disgusted with him because he was like, that's his reason for cheating. His wife was not sexually visual to, like, all he could think about is when he have sex with her, she got a purple bonnet on. Y'all need to pay attention to her, like, take that shit off y'all head. But this man been married to her 4 kids, 7 grandkids, and you telling me you cheating on me because I got on a purple bonnet and a t-shirt? You couldn't tell me to take that off?
I think in that situation, that is 100% the man's fault. He should have communicated that. Now,
but he didn't feel comfortable. That was his thing. He didn't feel comfortable saying that to her.
Well, and that's the part of communication and relationships, period, that especially in the Black community, we have an issue in. Is we have issues with expressing what we really feel towards people we love. You don't have an issue with talking to your partner, your homegirl, a stranger on the street. But when it comes down to talking to mama, my wife, my husband,
intimate relationships.
It's intimate relationships. There you go.
But 20-some years,
it doesn't matter.
Later,
that question is
crazy.
I know, but why are we like that? Why are we like that? Why are we in this position to where anything that's intimate, we don't know how to communicate with it?
Because we never taught.
I don't know, not ever taught, but then too, when you think about relationships, those sit down on, let's just sit and talk. You don't often have those moments where you just either shooting the shit or you are pouring your hearts out on the table because here's my issue, here's your issue, let's resolve so we don't have issues.
We never seen that in the Black or the brown community.
I
don't think we've ever seen it.
So how did we get,
because
when we first started dating, we enjoyed one another company, right? So when we 5 years in, how do we lose enjoying one another's company?
Have you ever noticed that in relationships, at the beginning, everything is great. As you go, everything goes more apart than it does go. We think mentally in our head, we think the deeper we get, the more time, the more years we put into this, we're supposed to get tighter, right?
We are, right?
But we're going separate. We're going the opposite.
We're
more tighter at the beginning than we ever have been.
See, and because if you come in the beginning with that mask on, that's why it's like that, because you designed the mask to be around me. You was cool with it then. You was cool with hanging out and trying to see if I'm likable and lovable in the beginning, but then when you realize not so much, but she cute and we have good sex, so I'm gonna stay around. That mask is a sugar mask. So the more you sweat, the more it rains, and that shit gonna melt. That's why in 6 months you start to become yourself. Yourself start to show because you've had on a mask for 6 months. You weren't even being you. You was just being something she would like to hang out with for a little while. If you come in straight up and be yourself and give that person an opportunity to wanna like you for real as a person, you'll find your person. But if you're willing to put on a mask for anybody, that's what you're gonna be doing, putting on a mask for anybody.
And I'm guilty of that.
I think we've all done it. I think we're all guilty of putting a mask on. But the question is what about that? What if that mask wasn't a mask? What if we literally, what if we just genuinely didn't know some of the things that we were before we got into that specific relationship? No. There have been relationships that I have been in where I learned things about me because I did not know those things even existed within me.
That's fine.
You see what I'm saying?
So I don't that.
Right. That's the issue. Well, of course, that's
no, but I'm not talking about that part. Because see, you going into the depths of the relationship. Meaning, like when I say mask, like if you say
they see that they represent.
Yes, you sending somebody that like surface stuff. And I'm not speaking for. I can only speak for me. Like I said, I got a couple decades. But I found myself, and I don't even want to say it out loud, but you know what, this transparency and I'm grown. I found myself adapting and adjusting to each man I date. He don't like weave, I'm taking this weave out. He don't like thinking this, I wear a manicure. Yeah. He don't like too sexy, I'm gonna wear this long dress. Right. He like fine, let me put this bad bitch cat suit on.
But who are you in all of that?
Who am I? And then what I'm feeling like, since I've gotten to where I am and I feel so good about myself, I'm not attracting anything. Like it's like, so y'all like me fake. You don't even like the real me.
I don't
Shit. Like what's up? So y'all on my radar when I'm fake.
Yeah.
But the real me is like,
Because
I don't like you,
because
sis.
now you know you. And maybe they wanted a woman that didn't know themselves so they can mold them into what they wanted her to be. You ever thought about that?
That ass.
You ever thought about that? So the reality of it is now that you know who you are, now I can't mold you anymore. So now you're unattractive.
Fuck on.
You see what I'm saying?
Damn,
But that's
that's
also a
control.
good.
That's why
But
men
that's
date younger
there it
women.
is.
They
That's
say
no
they ain't
control.
no way into this bitch.
That's
Yeah.
why men date younger
Fuck
women.
it. I'm out of
Say it
here.
again.
I said that's why men date younger
I don't
women.
think that's true.
I do.
That's true as fuck.
I think everything.
That's true as
everything.
fuck.
No.
Cause they moldable.
Cause they
Hear,
mold
hear me out.
Early 20s.
Hear me out.
20
Oh,
years
hold
like
on.
a
Because you
bitch.
can mold.
You get motherfuckers.
You can mold. You can mold an older woman. Because peep this. Crystal just showed
do
you.
anything.
But listen to me. She just told you that you can mold an older woman too. Because
She was
guess
talking
what?
about her first date.
But
baby.
because if she don't know herself, that means she's still moldable no matter what age she is. You understand what I'm saying? So
I
the
would
reality
say
of it
I'm
is-
saying it would happen more with a younger woman versus an older
I
woman.
know some younger women that know themselves.
Me too.
But I'm also saying that either way, it doesn't matter. It's just at the end of the day, it doesn't matter the age. It matters if that woman
But
knows
see,
herself.
the term
There's a
changes.
40-year-old woman that don't know themselves.
Hold on, but see, the term changes. When you're younger, you're moldable. But when you get older, you're looking for a king to lead you. So I don't need you to mold me. I just need you to show me some different shit. I need you to stir my pot a little bit and lead me somewhere. So I don't younger, yeah, you can mold me,
When
but
you're
see,
younger,
different.
it's easier
My
to
mind,
admit
yes, and my mindset is different. So I'm not looking to be molded, but I'm damn sure looking to be led. Take me to the promised land, Blaq King.
Yeah.
Take me there. What are you
know where to
doing?
go.
If he
That's
knows
the
where to go.
problem. If you know where to go.
That nigga went back to his mama.
What she said, I think sometimes it's like they change for the person that they're with, not for just everybody. So
Right.
you might be yourself with some person and you don't want to be with that guy. But then you see somebody else that you want to be with and you change for them.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
So it's all about how much I like that
I
person.
agree.
So I got a question.
I don't
Go ahead.
disagree.
You sent your representative,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
You a year in a relationship, like Blaq said, you start showing your true self,
Mm-hmm.
and now the person that you were representing for, you know, the other person in the relationship that fell in love with the representative, don't like you, who you are without your mask. Are they now wrong for cheating?
No, just break up with me. You're absolutely wrong.
But did you
Don't cheat, tell me bye.
Well,
said, did
I
you
would say
cheat
that
first?
they cheat
By
first,
wearing
they
your
just
mask.
wasn't real.
No. They both had on masks.
They both.
Don't disregard that it's just one person in the party that's gonna do that. Because if you're gonna be for real, matter of fact, if you wear a mask and I don't have on a mask, me being open with you and showing you what it should expose your mask. But technically, we both have on the mask. The 6 months is getting weird because we're both showing each other who
What
we
if
are.
Say the question
I
one
don't
more. Say the question one
I
more.
said this. So let's put it up like this. Let's say this person never take off his mask. Okay, the man in the relationship, he didn't take off his mask.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and the woman feel like she should wipe this shit off. So let me show you who I am. I'm not gonna keep on wearing this mask.
Mm-hmm.
Is he now wrong for cheating? And did she cheat from the beginning for wearing one?
Hold on. Maze, what you said?
So I'm gonna say, if once he cheated or she cheated, they just wasn't real and honest. Because it's like you said, there's a representative, so that ain't me no how. So you still ain't met me. You met somebody who's pretending to be me. So I done messed up already.
True.
Sending that
There you go.
representative.
There you go.
Because if we're gonna be in a relationship, let's keep it 100.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna give you me versus somebody who wants to be me.
But how do we get to being us? Like maybe we know now, like when you get to a certain place, but what if I'm not at that place? I'm 25, I'm not at that place, and I'm trying to attract this man. So like, and I have not really at 25, I didn't know who the hell I was. I done had 5, 6 careers. Like, you don't know who you are. So how I'm gonna keep sending my representative at that age. So how do we relate to people under a younger are trying to find a way not to send a representative so we can stop doing this triangle.
Good question.
Because it's not within, because we already over there, but it's the people that's underneath
Because I got a
us
response.
that's keep on sending, you know what I'm
But I'm
saying?
not-
Because it takes you a long time. And like I said, it took me a long time, and truthfully speaking, maybe the last 3 years I found out exactly who I am. And that's too long for me to have been a representative.
So,
It's too long.
so I guess Maze can answer that for the women. Then I'm gonna get Jose, because Jose is that age. At the finding themselves age,
Mm-hmm.
where maybe he can see, okay, am I, because he's sitting here at the table and he's thinking in his head, like, am I sending my true self to people that I'm dating?
Sometimes I feel like people send the representative because they feel like the person's not gonna like them. But sometimes when you're just yourself, they end up liking you more. But you don't even realize that until you already had the mask on for too long.
So why do we even realize, why do we feel like we have to send the representative only because
Not
we
being
quote
comfortable
unquote
with
think?
yourself.
That's confidence then.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta have some sort of confidence for yourself.
Mhm.
But I think the answer for women, I'm sorry,
No, go ahead.
the answer for women would be when they say you gotta learn to date yourself, that's a real statement. That's not something people just throwing out. You have to know what you like, what you like to eat. I'm tired of that shit, ladies. What you like to fucking eat. Shoot. Get a list of fucking restaurants, okay? And just go down them. What you like to do with your time, how you like to look, how you want to feel, what type of sex you like, what's your traumas. You get what I'm saying? You got to know all of that shit before you allow him to make you hide certain things. Because if you can't put that shit up there, trust me, he's not gonna go looking for what's wrong with you. He waiting for you to tell him what's wrong with you. He's not gonna be like, well, you know, her daddy was a fuck nigga, and her mama got drunk. He's not gonna do that for you. That's for you to decipher what happened to you and why you the way you are. So date yourself for a little bit. Go out alone, completely alone. Go to a bar, go to a park. Go to a park. Hang out with yourself. Know you. And then you can share you with somebody else. But if you try to get somebody to build you, for you to be what they want to share, you're going to be what they want.
I think we've all done that. I think we're guilty of all. We're all
That's how
guilty.
I know.
So are y'all saying right now, we tie it back to the original, a big piece of the pie of why people cheat is because they don't know themselves?
I can agree with that.
Is that the general
I can agree with that.
consensus
Yes.
people cheat because they don't know themselves?
They don't
Right.
know themselves, selfishness, and lack of communication.
And we put too much expectations on other people making us happy. It's not his responsibility to make me a happy woman, and it's his responsibility to add to it. And it's not my responsibility as a woman to make him feel like a happy man. I'm just supposed to elevate it and bring to it. Like I'm just supposed to encourage. I'm supposed to be. It's supposed to be. But you should already be whole.
And so that takes back to the question you say, how do we get to that point at this young age? And that's where it takes people teaching them.
But it's what she said that got me there. Going to the mall by myself, going out to eat by myself.
Somebody have to
Like
Men need to do that
like,
too, though. Like,
and then the
and I
other
get what she
issue-
said. You know, men need to absolutely do that too. I don't know a man that's ever. I'm so lack of better words. I don't know a man that's ever dated himself. That's ever went to a game by himself or went to a restaurant by himself. It was always, let me get my partners. Let me do this.
Whatever the boys are doing.
Yeah. Whatever they doing. If they ain't doing nothing, I ain't doing nothing.
And that's the
That's-
handbook. That's the fucking handbook. Men do it. Let me get my boys and we're gonna go out. So when y'all go out and y'all see amongst y'all, this is what y'all like to do, that becomes your handbook. And when he say, yeah, she keep calling your phone, don't ignore that, you with your boys. That becomes part of the handbook. And oh, you can holler at that shorty right there. Your girl right here. You just with your boys. That becomes part of the handbook.
So a big piece of this is the development of a person, but specifically we're talking about, from my perspective, development of a man.
Yes.
We don't have that, especially not like dated all the way back to slavery. You can date it back to early 1900s, Jim Crow, like, the war on drugs. where the Black family was separated,
Mhm.
we took a hit when it came to the development of the man.
I agree with
So there are substitutions, probably not the best substitutions
Mhm.
when it comes to understanding and learning and doing this thing called life. And specifically when we're talking about intimate relationships, it's like, I don't know what the best way to do things are, because that's exactly what I was taught growing up. So I'm going to
I know how to
naturally
be a
adopt
boy.
that.
I know how to be a man. This is what I do.
Yeah, this is what you do to be
So,
a man. You get
as a man, I want this and like this. This is what
Yeah.
I know. But you haven't exercised this whole area in your whole life. And
for a
y'all
whole
ain't
20
took
years.
that to the boy circle and said, hey man,
This is
Hi.
not what you. If you need to be. You need to be straight up with whomever in this intimate relationship that you're with, and learn how to communicate. We're not taught that, so of course it's going to come. People cheat because one, it's a standard.
But then
Unfortunately, in our
also-
community.
in y'all circles, y'all don't hold one another accountable.
Mm.
Most of the times we'll be like, if she come to me and say something, this is not true at
Bro
all.
code. That's bro code.
But that's girl code. Girls
It's
do it
code
too.
too. But
Women do
hold
it too.
on. This ain't a true story. But if she is flirting with somebody, I would be like, as my friend, sis, you still married, ain't you? I'm gonna remind her.
bitch, you would never. Bitch, you gonna be like,
Oh, but then I
do
introduce
you know
myself.
who the fuck? Do you know who the fuck Rika is? Bitch, do you know? Bitch, you better get your ass back over there to work. You know what you got something to do? That's what you gonna do. That's what
But
you
I'm gonna
gonna
hold her accountable. She gonna know.
do. She not gonna do none of that.
And I'm gonna tell her in front of whoever the girl is. And then, and
Y'all, y'all one of many.
I've
That
even
ain't
done
going down.
the
That
fact
ain't going down
because
in the homegirl neighborhood.
women are a little bold,
a
can be a
lot
little
more
bold.
than in a male friendship. Because we're gonna share those things. When them women come to the shop, we're not even their best friends. When they come to the shop, we're gonna know everything that happened in this relationship. We're gonna know if you were sexually
Niggas get jealous too. They
satisfied.
just don't let
We're
us
gonna
they don't let
know
people
if what he had in his career and finances, what if he's cheating. We're gonna even look up the bitch he's cheating with. Like, we're gonna do this. We're gonna become a circle and we're gonna investigate with you. Y'all not doing that. Y'all not even giving up. Y'all though you had this boy circle, this homie circle, but y'all not being friends in that circle. Y'all just observing each other and okay, so that's cool, that's cool. That's how a man be a man. We'll tell you, bitch, you better go put that dress on and stop playing. You need your hair done. I even make them book their appointment before they, because bitch, no, don't you got that new man? Book your fucking appointment.
That's just one of them. I don't hear
We're
that.
not, it's not rare. I'm telling you, it's not rare. Girls do this shit. We're gonna talk shit to each other. We're gonna hold each other accountable, and possibly some bitches they're gonna steal your man. You get what I'm saying? It ain't perfect, but I'm saying we're gonna open up those windows to where we can get answers. Y'all not getting any answers.
Right.
Y'all just learning
Because you
behavior.
can't trust them.
Okay.
Then why y'all boys?
You know,
Like I
you know,
said, we're not even
you know
best
that.
friends
You
to
tell
these
me the truth.
women, but they trust us enough to talk, to get that shit out of them. And women that don't, because it is women that just stagger around and just listen to the conversation of other women, they look dead miserable. Trying to gather solutions, like, well, kind of. Talk, girl. Say what's up. Because somebody got an answer for you. Or somebody got something you go, I'm gonna tell you to go home and tell them. Tell them the truth. Fuck how he gonna feel. Fuck how you gonna feel afterwards. You gotta get that shit out of you. If you want a solution. It ain't just gonna come to you and be like, yeah, remember that thing you've been thinking about for the last 3 years? Here you go. That's not happy. That's not real.
Right.
That's not real. You gotta ask for what the fuck you looking for. Hey, babe, I've been confused about this thing, or this ain't working, or I'm not feeling it when you do this. Talk. Say what it is. Because if it's me and you against the world, how else you gonna know how I want to see the world? If you just give me what the fuck you see, what
And I
reality
kinda
we're living in?
like what he say, how it's dated all the way back, something that just made me think about. I wrote this shirt. I bought it on Facebook that says Black men are essential. So I wore it to the gym a lot. So a Black man said to me, man, Queen, I like that shirt. Wish more of y'all felt like that about us. It's like we do. And I do believe that, and not to give no passes, but in my heart, I do feel like the Black man have it hard. And I'm not even talking about relational. Let's take relational out, because sometimes that's why the relationship fail. I do feel like they always gotta be super strong. Ladies, you may not like this, but if he don't have a certain job, you don't like him, but you don't know the struggle of what it took for him to even get that job. I got a Black man that's my client, and he hate his job. He been in jail a long time, and he got out, and he was like, it's embarrassing to me that I have to work this job. We don't know his struggle, but what I keep telling him, he need grace, and he needs somebody to love him where he at. But what he keeps saying is, I can't find it. Women don't like you if you ain't got this, and this. So I do, and I know it's the struggle when they see police lights. I know it's the struggle when they walking in the stores and they getting followed. I understand that the Black man need grace, but in the same sense, the Black woman need leadership. So before we can talk about anything relational or cheating, it's a mindset. It's a mindset that I just need to love you as my Black brother.
Well, you gotta push me. You gotta be there to push me too.
Don't have to push you.
No, I'm talking about.
You.
So what she said is that when you're in those moments, basically that man, for an example, that young man is having a moment. All right, she's pushing him. She's encouraging him. You need somebody to give you grace. That's pushing, like, because he's also expressing where he's at in himself. So it's two things that needs to happen. We have to be more vulnerable, Black men, to express ourselves to our Black women. Black women, when we express our vulnerabilities to you, y'all have to encourage and push us. It's two. They both have to happen. What's happening right now, Black men is not being vulnerable. So guess what? Black women can't push us because they don't know what the hell going on. You understand what I'm saying? So it still, unfortunately and fortunately, starts and ends with the man. No matter what man it is at this point. Black, green, yellow, purple. Starts and ends with the man. The hard part is, you're absolutely right, is that I'm 38 and I see a police and I do still get nervous. I'm 38 and I don't like when people look at me a certain way or make me feel uncomfortable. Or I don't like when people stereotype me because of my look, or which, you know, I can have a white man, for an example, stand next to me and look just like me, and you don't stereotype him. He don't look like he's gonna go kill somebody. He don't look like he's gonna go do something to somebody. But he look exactly like me, just a lighter skin. So the thing is now, this is just from my experience, a lot of Black women are starting to think that we're using that as an excuse. No, and it's not an excuse. It's real life.
It's real life. Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Like when a Black man get out of jail, when a Hispanic man get out of jail, Black or brown man get out of jail, he has no help, none. That's tough. But he also has to, do this. He has to hope to find a helpmeet. He has to, without being judged. So now every woman that he dates, he feels like they're judging him because of the situation. Like, there's a lot that goes with being a man. I am not validating cheating from a Black man or a brown man. It's not what I'm saying at all. That's a whole nother obligation that you need to be responsible for. But on the flip side, being in this thing called the world and being Black or brown is tough. Black and brown women don't have it as tough, but y'all have situations that are just as tough. We'll never know what those feel like, just like y'all never know what our situations feel like. But what we have to do is encourage each other along the way. And I think that's the part. The most frustrating thing to me is that Black and brown women can encourage each other. Black and brown men can, quote unquote, encourage each other, but nobody's doing it the opposite way. Black woman ain't encouraging a Black man. Black man ain't encouraging a Black woman. But the Black woman and the Black woman can encourage each other, and the Black man and the Black man can encourage each other. Why is that? It's almost like we're trying to battle against each other. That's what it's looking like.
It is a battle.
It's like now we're fighting against each other. It used to be crabs in the barrel mentality on the Black men. Now it's like a crabs in the barrel mentality on the Black men and the Black women. It's like we just don't want anybody to get out of the barrel. We just
But
pulling
it is,
everybody down.
but how you just said, repeat what you said it started in with the man,
Still
right?
starts and ends with the man.
But it's also the mentality. So you tell me right now what the mentality of the Black man is. You know what we see as Black women, and I'm not going to give many Black women to disagree. We have no respect from the Black man. We have no leadership. We have no chivalry. We have no clear understanding. We're looked at as pure as meat. You're fine, you're getting fucked. You make babies with us that you don't take care of. And then you expect us to be, I knew your mama had it, but that's not the idea. Again, it starts and it ends with the men. So, and y'all talk about our masculine energy and our independency. Y'all put us in position to do that.
That's them.
I got masculine energy flowing is because I have to protect and provide my home because there's no man there.
Right.
I have masculine energy because I have to get my own door at the grocery store, at the gas station, whatever the case may be. I have masculine energy because I'm forced, even if I'm going on a date with a man. Y'all new mentality of dating is going Dutch, splitting the bill. Let me tell you something. I don't need you to buy me a steak. I don't need you to buy me a sandwich. I don't need you to buy me a bottle of water because I can buy you one. It's the principle of it, because you keep talking about no respect. You think I have respect for a man that can't even feed me? You say you getting to know me, and the last that I checked what dating and courting is getting to know somebody. So if it's that baffling or that appalling to you to buy me a $20 meal or a $50 meal, it's something wrong with you in your mind. Mm-hmm. So again, it's not a woman issue, and the reason why we have to be independent and we climbing these charts to be CEOs and CFOs, that changed in the last 25 years that we got these positions, because we weren't always able to get those either. Mm-hmm. So we've had a hard road too. So stop trying to downplay us and go into your position. If you get into your position, I can fall into my position, because I know my position. I'm a wife, and I'm not a king, and I'm not a husband, and I'm not a leader. I'm your helpmeet. I'm your covenant. So allow me to get back in my role.
And you actually think all women know what their role is?
I don't know what they know, but I'm talking about me. I'm talking about me and my circle, because I know we have an understanding. Okay. So in order for me to be what I need to be to you, I need you to get that in your mentality and lead me the right way, because it's first thinking. Okay. It's not things, it's not nothing, it's in your mind. It's what you think, it's what you think. So once you come to the brown, black, whatever color, once the man get in his mind about who he's supposed to be, we can follow accordingly, because I know that you're the head and I know I'm supposed to follow behind. But until you prove to me that you can lead me, I'm not following you nowhere, and I'm going to continue to rebel.
Yeah. Because even though it's understood that the Black men have a hard struggle, because I do sympathize, you can't disregard that we have the same struggles.
I don't.
You get what I'm saying? Like the same traumas you guys grow up and have to suppress and hide. Yeah, we have windows of a voice to communicate those things, some of us, but the trauma we have to bury is still equal to it. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? It's still not going to be, especially having to be meat or, I'm
not more so trying to, I don't want to put it in a position to where one weighs more than the other. What I'm trying to get really people to see is that we're not doing anything on either side. Not right now.
But just what I'm saying is the same grace that understood to have to give to men. The women need that too, and they still gotta wait for you.
And rightfully, I think we should give it before we can even get it. I agree. I sympathize with that 1,000%. The issue is that society has put the Black man so far behind in a hole. So now, we're 35, 40, 50 years old before we can even get out of the hole. And we've made 1,000, one second, we've made 1,000 mistakes before we can get out of the hole. So yes, we've had illegitimate kids. Yes, we done messed up in our younger years. Now we done went to jail for 15, 10 years on murder. We done did all this, we sold dope. We did all this trying to do whatever. So now when we finally get it right, it's almost like mentally it's too late. Mentally, almost, because at this time it's like I done made so many mistakes here. I'm 45, 50 years old trying to clean up mistakes that I made at 25 because of I didn't have a good home. I tried to go out there and get it. I didn't have a good upbringing. And I'm not blaming it. It's just, unfortunately, there's a lot of men that is in this position. And I'm not looking for a handout, but I'm also, like Crystal said earlier, I am looking for some grace because I'm still at 25 and even still at 45, I'm still trying to find myself. Where you all, I commend y'all because y'all are getting it. Y'all picked up on it and got on it quick. Versus, that's not, truthfully, that's not what society wanted the man to do. They ain't tripping on y'all getting no CEOs, CFOs, no millions. They ain't tripping on y'all.
Bullshit.
They tripping on us though. They ain't trying to get us to get it at all. They don't want us to touch it. And even if we get to it, they trying to figure out a way for us to get out of it. You understand what I'm saying? So I want what she's saying. But also on the flip side, you got to ask yourself, y'all circle is one of short that actually know what it looks like. There's a lot of people that they just want to get in that spot. They like, then as soon as they get in that spot, I don't need no man. I can do this, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. So guess what we think? Shit, what you need me for? Peace.
I disagree with a lot of it.
Well, that's fun.
And I'll tell you why. Because
That's
you
fine.
say, and I know you used to being disagreed with, because you know, everybody got to have a leg to stand on. With society, and we use society for a lot of the reasoning behind shit with Black men.
You don't think it's total?
I'm not disagreeing with that.
Okay.
So listen, this is the part that I have issue with. You have all this pressure from society. You got all this pressure from society, right? And then you go home to your Black women and you give them your ass to kiss. You make them the reaction or the what is it when you release stress? Yeah, they're your stress release, right? So you're taking all this bullshit and then you go and give it to them. We Black men don't protect us from it. Nothing. We answer to the bullshit y'all deal with outside of this home. And you still expect Black women to make this shit your home when you are the society to us. If we're asking for leadership and direction, that's someone that's leaning on you. And you getting pressure this way, and you're releasing your pressure on your woman this way, what is she leaning against? Y'all against pressure, Black women are forgotten about. So at the point that we're trying to understand,
speaking the same language.
we are, but what I'm saying is that it's a response. When we say that Black women aren't giving, Black men aren't giving anymore, it's an issue on both sides, we forget that Black women always gave, and it's a reaction to your action. And change, like cause and effect, fucking matters. It's
Right.
heavy.
Absolutely.
So we're asking for Black women to get back into a place, not to start or create one.
I think we
We're
put
asking
ourselves in
Black
a position
men
now,
to
though,
create
to
one.
where I don't even think the women want to get back in that place anymore.
That's not what Chris just said. Chris
It's not-
said she's
that's-
ready to be a woman again.
That's what Chris.
Tell me, sis.
That's what Chris said, and she's absolutely right. I believe her when she says that, but I don't know if a lot of our Black women want to be back in that spot because now they got it, and that's great. But I don't think they want to get back in that spot where she's talking about. A lot of them is like, I don't need no, lack of better words, I don't need no nigga for shit.
And I hate that.
And that makes me feel uncomfortable because I'm like, well, shit, what am I finna give her my maximum self? What I'm finna give her, like I talked about last week, what I'm finna get her 100 for?
And I think
But
it's,
she don't-
I think it's
yeah.
a figurative of speech. I don't think that we're
I get it.
necessarily
I
saying
get it.
we don't need a man. It's oxymoron. It's like we should not be saying that. And I don't think intentionally that's what we mean not saying we don't need a man, because just as much as a woman need a man need a woman. And that's just how it's ordained to be. That's
I wear the
that's how
pants,
it's
but you help
supposed
me
to be.
put them on.
It's the
That's the
culture
way I
of
look
it.
at it.
But we've gotten to
That's
the
right.
point to where y'all been so absent. What we're saying is
We done figured it out.
we done figured
But we
it out.
didn't
Not
want
that we
to.
don't need you,
We
but
just
we
want
done
to.
figured it out.
To the table more than just your bag. Because what if we already got the bag?
I'm not, that's
what a bag
because this ain't got nothing to do with the bag no more. Now it's about uplifting homes and generations. And now y'all missing it. The bag ain't what I care about.
Right.
For me, what it's about, I got an 8-year-old and a 3-year-old son at home. So at the end of the day, what am I going to do to make sure that they never have to be in some of the positions that I was in? I got a 10-year-old daughter at home. How do I make sure that she never be in the position that she was in growing up? You understand what I'm saying?
So what can he bring of value?
What can he bring of
All
value?
they bring to the table is, oh, I got money. So what value can you bring?
No, but
What can you
y'all
bring?
should
What
know.
can you teach? What
Y'all,
value
women
you
should know if that's the only thing that man has to value, that he's bringing to the table, that he's not for you. Y'all should know that. Y'all should know that. If you know that you already got the bag, and they make plenty of toys out there at Sarah Seekers and all them other places. So the reality of it is, if that's the only things that he can bring to the table, then you know that that's not it.
And that's what Chris
But
is saying.
he's-
when we
that
say
man's
we
supposed
don't
to-
need you. That's what we're saying.
But
We're
that,
not saying we don't
but you
only
cannot
need
you cannot
I
verbalize that.
know.
That's not how you can verbalize that, because I'm gonna tell you what that makes me feel like as a black man. And when you say you don't need me, that's basically telling me that society don't need me. They can just kill me off tomorrow.
No, that's not
But
what
that's what
said,
it
though.
feels like.
No, and I understand that. I can see how that being said will reflect those fears, but that's just not what's being
Well, fix
said.
it. Well, find another way to say it.
Well, you have to sit down.
Then find another way to say
You
it.
gotta
You
sit
can
down.
say, you know what, baby? You know what, baby? I love you, and I want to see you soar, and I want to see you. Right,
That's
but
that's what I think the chief is.
but at the end of the day, I still need you to do ABC for us.
Mhm.
It's a presentation for me. I need you to wrap that motherfucker up and present it to me right. Other than just saying, I don't need no nigga. That ain't present. That's just saying shit. Well,
Because
bad.
I'm not gonna
Okay.
Fall
me
back.
saying the person that I am, I'm not gonna present it like Chris Haynes, because I don't talk like that.
Then at
I'm
the end
that
of the
hood
day,
chick. I'm not gonna send my
Tell me how you
representative.
say it. Tell me how you say it.
I don't need you
Mhm.
at the end of the day. I don't
you're
need you.
not gonna get no
And if it
good
hurts your feelings as a man, damn, I'm gonna feel like you're a bitch.
Mhm.
But
because-
but hold on. That goes back to what you said, Story, because now you see how she responded to me. But it's bad if I respond to her that.
But
that
y'all
way.
do respond to us
No.
like that.
But
That's
dudes
the
do that.
issue.
They do that.
Y'all do
That's
respond
the
to us
issue.
like that.
Dudes do respond like that.
And she asked the
May,
question,
go ahead, May.
she said, so who's gonna fix it?
Right.
And
Who's
so
gonna
the
break the
answer to that
cycle?
question is just, this scenario is a prime example. Who gonna fix it? It's gonna take her fixing how she said so that he can receive. It's gonna take him fixing it so that when she says it, he's not intimidated or in his
Agreed.
feelings.
Oh, fiend.
But the only time a woman's gonna tell a man something like that is
Agreed.
after he done showed himself and showed us that he ain't gonna do nothing. He ain't
But
gonna.
we-
You
but we-
going
but we
backwards.
shouldn't
You
wait
going
there.
backwards. Going backwards.
And I'm gonna give you
No, she's not. No, she's not. Because it's the same instance. Why he gotta have that amount of grace if she can't have that amount of grace?
And you
If she
said,
can't talk to him, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, you go ahead.
If she can't talk to him and communicate where she at, and without you getting offended, that's why you're not communicating. Because words get you out of yourself. If she can't say, I don't need you, I want you, and that make you feel like, oh, then you don't need me around.
I think I want to be needed. I ain't finna sit there and lie to you and
But
say I don't want to be
listen,
needed.
I watch podcasts
I'm human,
and stuff
bro.
a
Like,
lot.
I'm
So
like,
I
wanna
watched
be needed.
another podcast, popular. What's the little athletes? They got the little podcast.
Don't care. But keep on.
Yes, you do. They're popular athletes, but they made the statement of saying the same thing. I don't need a woman. I can hire a maid. I can hire a chef. I got somebody to do that. So what's the difference in her saying that and y'all are putting it out there?
I ain't got no money like
Y'all
that.
are saying, I don't need, but even if you didn't have no money, see, the difference is you may can have somebody to come, see, as a single man, you may can have somebody come clean your house.
True.
You may have somebody come cook your food. You may have the same layout as my house and rub your back. But at the end of the day, my house is a home. You can have the exact same thing that I have, but your house is not going to have the energy that I provide for you. So you're going into maybe a clean house and maybe fed, but you're still empty on the inside because you still don't have that woman giving you a home.
We seen that on both sides, sis.
So what you saying? So what y'all
It's
are
not the
saying
same
is,
So you're saying it's okay for you
It's
to
like
do it,
y'all
but it's not
want
okay
y'all.
for me
No,
to do
it's
it?
not okay for now one of us
That's
to
what
do
I'm
it.
saying. That's what I'm
But
saying.
that's what I'm saying. But just like you got on her case, y'all publicizing it too. I can get somebody to wash my clothes. I can get somebody to cook for me. I can get somebody to do this, this, and this. But what we saying is we empty our trash, we wash our dishes, we pay our bills, we bring it in the check. So again, like she said, how we gonna fix it? Who curls? Who said? Well, How the fuck do we fix it? Because we're saying the same thing.
True.
So
We're
the
saying the same
But
shit
she gotta tiptoe on eggshells because
to protect your
So
ego.
She don't have to,
so the
but your
big-
presentation got to be better than what it was.
So the going back to the question.
Are we on the question why
Right.
men and women cheat? We all in
Right.
there.
So what I'm saying, going right. So vulnerability and insecurity is
Absolutely.
another, because that's what I'm
Absolutely.
hearing. Right?
That's another part.
Unless,
That's another piece.
unless you talk, unless well, there's
And-
insecurity on this side or this
No,
side.
I think it's for that.
No, I'm saying
that's a perfect example.
Right,
but
I'm saying like
it was a security.
Like-
What she said, believe it or not, was her coping mechanism. You understand what I'm saying? When a woman, and y'all will agree with me, when a woman says, "I don't need you," that's her coping mechanism. Because the reality of it is that she's
insecurity.
right. Because she's really saying, in my opinion, what I think sometimes a lot of women are saying is really, "I need you."
So is
But
the
don't
black,
force
so,
us
so
to
is the
say I
man,
don't.
so the
Exactly.
man, so is the
I'm
man,
there. I
so is
get
the
it.
man's coping skill to
No, his coping mechanism is what she was talking about earlier. Come home and make y'all feel less than.
Right.
That's his coping mechanism. You see what I'm saying? When he goes home and makes his woman feel less than, that's his coping
that's
mechanism.
his coping mechanism.
Yes.
And you want me to put what in words?
this. What does that mean when a man does this?
It means
He ain't got a response.
it means it can mean a whole bunch. It can mean I'm not about to open myself up.
Wow, we having a
I'm not-
conversation.
It means
Okay.
it's about how I
Conversation gotta
I'm
get
about to
touched.
go
because
full circle. There what it means.
No.
Yes, it does.
No.
Yes, it does.
I'm
A lot of
withdrawing.
men's
No.
coping mechanisms.
But
This
you
is not
can't
safe.
withdraw, you
Wait,
can't
you
withdraw
gotta
if we're having a very emotional conversation because
You
that's when
can't.
that vulnerability comes out.
Right, you can't,
Y'all
but it has-
shut down in the middle of it.
Everybody should. Yes, absolutely. It goes back to communication. But yes, the idea of being vulnerable, man or woman or whomever, I'm not going to be vulnerable if it's not a safe space. And if you show me that it's not a safe
But,
space,
like-
I'm going to do this. I'm going to withdraw.
Because y'all asked the question, who has cheated in a relationship? How many of y'all been cheated on and how did that make y'all feel? And I bet you everybody's gonna have a different response from male and female. Because me, I personally don't know, but it'd be like, if you cheated on me, it just shows me that you don't want to be with me. So why would I try to go back to work things out? It's just like, it's a sign of disrespect, and that's why I haven't done it.
But that's why cheating is why a lot of women are bitter. Y'all keep talking about how bitter and how angry you are. It's because we've poured and we've given so much. And we're at fault too because we choose these men. We see all these little red flags and we be like, but he got potential. I can make him better.
Women was
I can
all
help him
red
do
flags
this,
and
this,
just say,
and
keep that
it's
dick
a
to yourself.
slap in the face.
And they still.
And I can only talk about me because I got cheated on real bad. Had kids on me and everything, but I was still there years after. But you know what it made me feel like? I couldn't even look in the mirror at myself. I despised me. I gained weight. I never felt it don't matter what I put on, no matter how expensive it was. I felt like I wasn't good enough for him. Regardless of him kept saying, it's not about you. You didn't do nothing wrong. I'm sorry. I felt like trash because I'm not good enough for you. That's what it feels like. And that shit makes us bitter.
So what part
And we
of,
keep
what part
rolling
of it you
that
taking
shit over.
responsibility of? And what part is he responsible?
I should have been gone.
Okay, so that's
That's
your
my
part.
fault. So at the end of the day, like he said, exactly what he said is why I'm piggyback. If you cheat on me, I should have walked out the door because you just told me you didn't fucking want me. But instead, I stayed another 3 or 4 years to let you keep doing it to me. It's my fault. It's not yours. I didn't have no self-worth. I didn't have no value. I didn't know who I was because I allowed you to do that to me. You're not wrong, black man. I am.
But we all make mistakes, right?
But
Okay,
that's
hold on,
also
hold on,
how we
hold
can
on.
become who we need to be.
True. We all make mistakes, right?
And that's why women
And-
no longer need men for shit.
Again, we all make mistakes, right? Nobody's answering my question. Okay.
We
So the reality of it is that what is grace?
I ain't got no grace for
So I'm going somewhere with this.
What's
Because the
grace?
reality of
Tell
it is, no, the reality of it is that if we all believe in giving each other grace, mistakes happen. You stayed for your own reasons. I've been cheated on and I stayed for my own reasons. Whatever. I might have thought, hey, at the end of the day, that we can work it out. It'll be fixed. It's the repetitiveness that's what makes it really the worst. And that's what makes you lose self. It's because now in the back of your head, you know, I need to leave, I need to leave, I need to leave. But then the front of your mind is the conveniency, the comfortability. All of that is the reason why you stay. And love. The reality of it is that
it
love.
was never staying for comfortability. It was staying because I wanted to try to convince him to love me and let him see
still love.
what I need.
Still love.
Never about comfortability or none of that. See, the difference with men cheating when women cheat and why women stay is because we're hoping that you're going to eventually choose us. See, it's a totally different thing. So you talking about comfortability and this.
I think it's still the same. Because I think at the end of the day, if I was in that position, that's what I would still feel the same way you feel.
No, men stay for comfortability. I got 2 kids over here. I done got this house. And we've been here for 10 years. It's a 300. Yes, it is. That's why y'all stay, because y'all check
it out and do
outside
I don't answer questions
shit.
like that. So I generalize it because I know that there's some men that do it because of other reasons. I know some personally.
Men sit in my chair. I have men sitting in my chair regularly saying the same shit.
I love my gym and the same thing.
I love my kids. Why you just won't leave them? I love my kids.
Don't no man want no other man raising their kids at the end of the day. They really don't. They really fucking don't. I'm sorry. I know
but y'all looking at it from one side of the spectrum.
But I'm only talking about men sitting in my chair and see it. And I don't just have black men sitting in my chair. I got Asian. I got white attorneys. I got whoever. I got men sitting in my chair. Right. And my question is, when they say certain shit, why you there? My kids. And we've been together since we was 15. I mean, we work together with the kids.
Still doesn't make it
but
right.
y'all don't work. That's not what I'm saying. We're talking about why people stay there.
Women do that too, though. Women stay there too. Same situation. We got kids. We got this. We got this. We got this.
Technically, yeah.
Like we all are saying. We singing the same music.
Yes, but not communicating.
But not communicating.
That's what you're not doing.
What do y'all want out of the communication?
The truth.
I don't know. I'm chilling.
Look.
Don't tell me nothing, sir. Listen, don't worry about me. Y'all ain't gotta tell me y'all stories because I ain't even interested. I'm chilling on it. Don't even listen. I'm gonna give the black man grace because I'm a black woman and I love you and I want you to be great. But as far as relational sake, you can keep that. I'm chilling on it. That's the place that I'm at. I'm up to here with black men. And not because of actions. I'm up to here with black men because of the mentality. And then I'm not talking about relational. I'm talking about community wise.
Okay.
I'm disgusted.
Okay, so let's go there. I'm good with that. I'm good with that. So she said she's disgusted. She's talking about black men community wise. But you have some good black men in your circle.
I do.
You feel what I'm saying?
And still, I got this one. And still with those black men in that community, they will get in front of their friends or in front of any audience and back talk or downplay the black woman.
I don't do that. I wouldn't do that to y'all.
Yeah, you might not point your finger and say you the type of black woman do that, but you got an opinion about black women that's detrimental to black women.
But y'all got the same thing. Y'all have the same
I just said
opinion
I
about
love
it.
y'all.
No, but you also just said you was disgusted with it.
I'm disgusted by the mentality. I'm not disgusted with you as a human being. I'm disgusted with your mentality. See, it's a difference. I love you as a black man, and I want black love.
But you can't be disgusted.
Mentality, that's two different things.
Being what? What's the mentality again?
The way that you portray. Yeah.
What is that?
The mentality you have for black women,
Which is
a negative connotation. Everything bad. Black women are this. Black women needs this or insecure. Black women ain't all of
general
that.
Black,
That
not
general.
all.
That
general
place. Black men put black
on
women. She's disgusted by it because out of all different genders of men, they not making podcasts trying to break down a black woman. They not sitting in circles saying, "Oh, my preference is just not black women." They not doing that. But our men sit amongst themselves and tell the world, "Fuck black women."
Like this is a real thing.
Yes.
Do you have social media and podcasts and stuff?
We don't
Like,
look at
yes.
You know,
and that's why I feel
And that's what I'm listening. I'm literally like, I want to understand.
Or perhaps you don't have friends that's in that circle, but they have the mentality to dislike us because insecurity is in them. And we didn't have anything to do with that. We're here trying to discuss grace for Black men.
So,
but you will sit amongst your, I'm sorry, baby. You will sit amongst your friends and destroy us without any pause in that destruction to say, but also Black women came from struggle. Black women came from traumas as well. Black women deserve grace as well. We don't get that side note discussion, but we can tell them, yeah, Black men came from here and the world is against you and we got to get to a better place. Now, what's that better place? Grace, forgiveness, safe spaces, communication. We're giving you solutions to be better so we can create a better space for you. But for us, no. Y'all cut that shit off and gave a foreign bitch the whole respect.
Give them opportunity. Give them an opportunity.
Say something to me.
I'm sorry.
No.
What you saying, man?
I just because you.
And we only saying this. And we
I'm-
only saying
I
this
think
for
what I'm
facts.
hearing is essentially the there's no excuse the way in which the Black man views the Black woman.
Yes.
There's no uplifting. There's no encouraging. There's no treating her as the queen she is.
Yes.
Regardless of your
see why you
preference.
married, boy.
Regardless of your
Regardless.
You
preference.
can like something
But
else,
else, yeah.
but that has nothing to do with a Black woman.
With the way in which Black men
Portray Black women
and perpetuate the narrative
of,
yes.
of Black women.
And-
You can
and-
like white women, you can like Spanish women, you like whatever you like. But that don't, just because you over there, don't make your conversation about us.
Gotta be
Of all the
about me.
people we expect to hurt us in the world, Black men shouldn't be one.
Exactly. And I'm only speaking on the facts of it and why this is how I got disgusted. Black, I already know because I came to work outraged that, and we social media, but I scrolled, a Black man wrote, women should bring us flowers, bring us a gift, take us on a date, pay for the whole thing, and when you get home, check and see if I made it home. Well, why don't I just give you my thong too, bro? Bend it over. Like, for real, because that's what, like, why is that your mentality? And this is a Black man. Y'all start dating us, take us out. And this wasn't even relational. This is saying it was the first date.
Get to know me.
Get to know me, come take me out and bring me a flower when you show up and get dressed up.
Or
What is-
cologne.
or cologne,
Or
or
filter.
protein shake, or a fifth of crown. Who says that?
And what were you when you said in thought, this is it?
But I think that goes
This is how I,
You can't. That goes back to putting them in the box because that might not be every Black.
It's not, but that post had 4.4 thousand comments and Black men saying, yeah, bro, they ain't gonna understand that. Yeah,
They
bro,
ain't ready for this
they ain't ready for this, bro. Yeah, that's 4,000 Black men. I scrolled and looked. I was livid.
4,000 options.
It doesn't matter. That's a lot.
Sometimes.
And this is in my community
all
because
right.
these
And
people
then,
right
and
here.
then, and then think of that's 4,000 men, right? So let's break this down. Me and the client did this the other day. Let's break down the 100% pool. We got 100% of men, right? And women. But we got 100% of men. And then we got to break that in half because half of them in prison and half of them is out, right? And then we got to break that, so now that's 50-50, right? Men on both sides. And we got to break those both in half because half gay and half straight. So now their options is
So you got 25%.
25% straight across, yeah? Now we got to break those in half because half of them work and half of them ain't. Huh? And then we gotta break that again because half of them got baby mamas and baby dramas and mommy issues and all that. So you at 3%
Bring your
Of
name.
eligible
You
Black
at
men with
3%.
common sense.
All right.
Dating
All right. So here we are.
Exactly. I'm listening to y'all experience.
Put it in fraction.
All right.
You
All right.
at
So I got
3
a real.
motherfucking percent.
I have
3.5.
one second. I got a real question at this point because now I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated in a
Sorry,
good
you
way.
want some ice?
I'm frustrated in a
Get
good
that
way.
man a coffee. Coffee make him
So
feel.
I
now
want to
I
just
would-
point out 2 Black women just supported you.
I just no. At this point now, because now I'm a real serious question now.
Okay.
After hearing what I've heard, and we're not done, but I'm really putting this in a synopsis of just we're still not getting it. it's safe to say that we still don't get it. We still way over here. Y'all still way over here. My first question is going to be, Black women, do y'all even want the Black man anymore?
That's not the question.
This is not, it's a valid question. It is a valid question because we've done so much to you all. We've degraded y'all. We've made y'all feel less than. We've left y'all to support kids that y'all didn't have on your own. We've left y'all to try to fend for yourself financially. And I can apologize for myself, but I can't apologize for a whole community of men. But now we're past that. Now it's to the point now to where we have to say, like, legitimately, do we even want each other anymore? Black men and Black women. Because now we're doing this. We're pissing on each other. It's just a piss fest.
Yes.
You ain't doing this. Well, you ain't doing this. This is all I've heard. Us at this table, this is what we're doing right now. Y'all ain't doing this. Well, if y'all do this, then we'll do this. Well, if you do this, then we'll do this. But nobody's willing to take the first step.
I think it is.
I did.
Cause that's putting it all on the table.
Shut up, girl.
I think communication is still the solution to the problem. We have to find a way to understand what's being communicated. So if you put on the table what you would do, if she'll do what he did wrong and what she did wrong and all the whole shebang, y'all get to decide within that pool how to handle those situations. And I think that's the communication. So if you doing that and you doing that, if that's the solution, you got to learn how to talk to me in order for me to hear you, then that's the fix. Okay, so for me to date you, you have to communicate your desires and your needs. If you want one woman and you want multiple women. If you have kids, how do we coexist? Co-parenting is a thing. Even blended families is a thing. But how do we get to that? We're saying all the problems, but we also got to put the solutions on the table as well. Because communication is still why we're the fuck here.
Communication is the only reason we're still here. Go ahead, Gary.
I thought you had two things.
Oh, but to answer your question, you said, do the Black woman? I don't know about those Black women, but this Black woman, I don't want to date a Black man. And that's
valid. That's valid. It's because at some point in time, you have to ask yourself, if all I'm doing is criticizing this, then why do I want it?
Exactly.
Like, we have to really, people, like, I'm tired of hearing Black men and Black women criticizing each other so much, but then you go and beat with what you criticize. So who really crazy? I think it's you.
No, I think we
No.
it's gonna be better.
No, I'm saying no. If you are going to criticize, if I'm going to criticize you every day, that's crazy on me to want to be with you.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's insane.
That's like saying you don't like burgers and then you eat burgers.
Yeah. You know,
But I don't think that's not what we really
Because-
desire. We
Because
really
you want-
desire.
Because you want burgers. So here's the thing.
But you don't like
Here's the thing. You want burgers. You want to answer your question? Yes. Black women want Black men. Black men want Black women. But here's the scary part about this whole conversation.
Come on.
But also the most thought-provoking part about this conversation is we're missing a crucial element to how we got here. This pit between Black men and Black women. And what I'm not doing, especially camera, no camera, what I'm not doing is passing the buck. Let me make sure that is overtly clear.
No.
I'm not passing the buck. Do we as Black men have the responsibility to take for how we treat and protect our Black women or lack thereof? Absolutely. Let me make sure I make that clear. However, the scariest part, most thought-provoking part, is we miss what racism has done to the Black family. You forget these jails and prisons that were literally designed to take us out. You like, we forget that Jerry Jones has X amount of dollars, and he's just not the only white man that does that. But the funds that go into creating prisons, it's not happenstance. It's not by coincidence, but it's literally to tear and keep the families apart. And I have not met a Black, generally speaking, it's not like we want this life. If I can have better, I can do better. If I had the resources and the opportunities to have a career, to have a family, to buy a home, to start a business, we would not have this conversation because we're very tribal people, period. We are very tribal creatures. So yes, we want to be in community with each other.
It's just built against us.
But literally,
Because
the historic part of this is being left out.
It's just not the prisons. Every government system that was brought against us has worked. Everyone, down to COVID, has worked across the board.
Yes.
I'm agreeing with you.
Right.
Everything they wanted has happened.
And it's like, if you think about it, and this is a whole other conversation, but I feel like the whole Black women don't need Black men. You look at even the welfare system. You don't need because the government has now become your Black man or your provider. So like,
In fact, a Black man can't be in a household if you don't
you
go
literally,
like Section 8.
you literally cannot get help if you are married or if you make over a certain amount. Like, it's designed to not only keep us down, but to kill us. So I think we are missing a huge piece of this. And I think we'd be doing this conversation a disservice if we don't bring spotlight, again, not passing the buck, but this pit is here because of racism. A huge part of this.
I agree. I don't disagree.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree.
That's all I got to say.
That's
all I got to say.
Any questions?
That's all I got to say.
What do you think, sir?
Any questions?
I don't disagree.
I feel like that's definitely a big part of the solution. And we're fighting against each other to try to find a problem and excluding a whole nother party, then yeah, that's why.
But we can also, but what we can do is still come together. That's still no excuse not to come together.
But
we
There's
do.
still
We
no
together.
excuse.
We can talk about it.
Hold up. We're not trying to upset you, Black man, because we know how big you can get in here.
Ain't nobody care about him. Listen,
what he just
got a good
said
circle.
kind of put buttercream frosting on the cake because it's built against us. So with that understanding from both parties, men and women, you would then see you two are on the same side of the problem to fix the problem. It's you two against it, not you, it. Y'all fighting over this.
Right.
It's y'all against that solution, what's built against you of having a happy home. And that you have to break down to even get to the communicating, the pool we created here.
And you gotta find a king that
Which
you're willing to make that fight with.
Yes,
There you
which
go.
is why you go back to, at least in my perspective, why I don't cheat. Why I can't afford.
No, you can't really.
I literally cannot
can't.
afford. And it's a way to, in my opinion, to help bridge the gap, fix the issue of this pit between Black and
Your relationship should be a model of why it still exists.
Yes, like that is why I'm like, no, I'm married, and I was the one that grew up, and I would date a lot of white girls or white women, but then it clicked like, no, like this is my Black queen. I love the fact that I can bring value and honor to my Black queen, and I now have 4 little Black princes that I'm raising. So this is my way of being able to, like, I know this is a big part of the past, but here is my individual attempt, commitment to healing from the hurts that Black women especially have been through. I don't want to do that. I don't want to perpetuate that.
Right.
Shout out to you, Black man.
In your practice, because we gotta book a session.
Shout out to you, Black
You
man.
She said she got a book session.
You said put it out
Shout out to
there?
you, Black man.
Yeah, put
Okay,
it out
practice the relationship clinic. We have 2 locations, Waco and Duncanville, and we specialize in couples, specialize in families, and we specialize in racial trauma. You can look us up on Instagram at the Relationship Clinic, or Facebook, the Relationship Clinic, or email us at admin@therelationshipclinic.com.
Come on, Black man.
Don't be disappointed. Don't be disappointed. You had a question.
I feel healed and shit.
I didn't forget about you.
Well, I didn't wanna backtrack, but I was just, listening. I think the question was, why do men and women cheat? So for me, I think it stems back to where everyone is in their space, where they come from. For me, I grew up watching my grandfather literally provide and make sure that my grandmother was taken care of. And I think that a lot of men have gotten away from that. Like, my grandmother didn't have to work. She took care of the household. So for me, being a young woman, those were patterns of things that I watched. I watched my grandfather be the man. So I knew in my head that's what I wanted. So that's what I thrived out to see, a product of my environment. Right. And then I watched my father be the same thing to my mother. My mother did not have to work. He protected my mother. You could not disrespect my mom. You could not, in his presence. So I knew as a woman what I wanted a man to be. And I feel like it doesn't make me, we come across as being bitter as women when we, tell a man specifically what we want, because I had to learn as getting older, I give a man, and it may sound strange, a 6-month time frame. Like, I can only give you 6 months of my time, but within that 6 months, I'm not telling you what I want, because in my mind, I already know what I want, but I'm watching what you genuinely do, how you genuinely act, how you treat your kids if you have kids, because if you're not that type of person with yours, why would I expect you to be with mine? I watch if you pay your bills. I watch those things. So if it's something called equally yoked. So within that 6 months, if I feel that we're not equally yoked, why waste either of our times? Mm-hmm. So I think a lot of women come across as being bitter because we have those expectations. Mm-hmm. So I feel like I give you time to figure it out. I'm now married, and I thank God for it, but I've even learned in my marriage that it's hard to communicate with a man. And it could be because of his last trauma from relationships or what he's been through. But I've even found in my marriage where I have to bite my tongue or be careful what I say. And maybe it's because what he's been through in the past, but I don't want to bring that into my marriage now. So how can we work it out? How can we talk about it? Let's figure it out. But I'm living a lot of his past that's been brought into my marriage. And I don't want to, just say, I don't want to deal with it because now I'm married. I don't have a 6-month rule anymore, right? No, I'm married, so I'm putting my best foot forward. So I'm learning that sometimes as women, we do have to tiptoe around it, We do have to tiptoe around those feelings because, it puts you in a place where you don't want to sound bitter. Like, I don't want to say the bills are due, because as a man, you should know the bills are due. Mm-hmm. Do I have to fuss that the bills are due? Well, nigga, you need to pay the bills. So it's like tiptoeing. So I think that to get back to it, we should go back to what we used to. I mean, a lot of women have a problem saying, oh, I don't need a man, I can do, but we do. We genuinely do. Like, and not to bring the Bible in, but men are supposed to provide for women. So, some women are vulnerable, some, like LB say she don't need a man. I heard her say she don't need a man. No, you may not need a man, but the way that we were designed as women, men should be the head, and we should be beside them, not behind, not in front, but beside. So I like the conversation. I wish I was able to say that.
I got something too, but you go ahead.
Okay. One, you taught yourself how to deal with this man. One, you observe for those 6 months because it's hard to communicate. Right. So let me just watch you, because I can't tell you shit, right? But now that you got your husband, you got to find those words to say, hey, do you need me to bitch at you for these bills, or are you going to remember that these bills are due? Right. You don't have to be in the argument to do that. You can just say that. Like, how you need me to tell you these bills are due? Because if you forget again, we're going to be outside.
But let me tell you something. Even if I say, hey, babe, the bills are due,
I'm learning that it could still be, his rebuttal could be, well, why you didn't tell me last week? So I'm learning that sometimes it don't even matter how you say it. You know what I mean?
He just don't want to be the problem.
Right. And he's not going to be the problem. And a lot of men, they don't want you to call them out on it.
So I got a solution though. Hear me out. You know what type of man you have, right? Everybody should know what type of partner they have. So you should know where they fall short at. You know, some people forget for different reasons. To prevent certain things, I probably give the information up front. Like, my wife pays predominantly all the bills. I text her at the end of the last month what the bills and the schedule and when they're due, the amount and everything. I'm not going to set her up for failure and wait the week of to tell her this bill is due next week. Because then it will be the response, well, why you didn't tell me? Because she could have been putting, or he could have been putting his money in other places thinking we're good. So I think it's important to know where your partner struggled at so you can catch them. And before you know, I understand, but for the recording's sake of how y'all can find a solution to this is know where your partner is, meet them where they are, and help them be that for you. Because then you're not stressed and they understand what they need to do to get the money for this light bill, and both of y'all are still happy longer. You know, I think like
back to
preventative measures.
And another part is I don't think women just don't need men. I don't like men. Period. Don't like men. However, I'm not gonna move this wash and dry yet. You understand? I ain't touching no trash either. I mean, I'm sorry, baby, but I'm not doing shit. That's your job. Even when the shit need in the shop, I'm waiting for one of my men clients to come and say, hey, put that back up for me.
Right, because we need men.
So if you walk in your lane and you stay in your lane and you know what your lane is as a woman, make that man do what he's supposed to do in his life.
Your part.
And then you're still happy and less stressed about the situation. I think the role should be how to make my day easier by making sure you do what you're supposed to do.
And you keep that. You're gonna take care of me.
Right. Period. And then ain't nobody like
you. Need some hey, can you grab that trash before you leave? Thank you, Dad. Thank you.
Right. And the man that Dion is, he gonna do that anyway, because that's how he eats.
Sure, right.
Yeah, he take our trash out, he fix our
and
closets.
He's single, ladies.
Thank you, brother. Y'all can't date him though, because I got an attitude problem.
So here
we go.
So to answer her question, we can never go back to where we were. I'm gonna just be honest.
Why?
We don't have to. We can
never go back to where we were. This is a part, and I didn't have a grandfather, but I pay attention to a lot of my uncles. And my uncles at the age that they are now are broke. They're broke down. Yes, a man's job is to take care of his woman, to take care of his house. But at the same time, if everything falls on that man, and he falls, you're done. It's important that our women are equipped. See, it's one thing to do everything for your woman, but there's another thing to do everything for your woman and make sure that you equipped her. And a lot of our older men, our uncles, our great uncles, our grandfathers, you did everything for your wife, but you didn't equip her. There's women out here, grandmothers, great aunts, that don't know how to drive. You want to know why? Because the husband drove them everywhere. And now they got kids that don't want to take them nowhere. And they still can't drive. I'm just using these things for an example. We can never, hold on. Yes, it's very bad because we can never go back to where we were. We can't. We cannot. As a system, as a society in 2022, I'm not done, that we can never go back to that. It's not saying that there was nothing against it, but we cannot go back to it. Second, there's nothing wrong with what she said, the 6-month rule and all of those things. Those things are great. But there is a thing, like Story was saying, where we have to make sure that you know your partner. Examples of what she was saying. Yes, you shouldn't have to walk on eggshells with your man, but it ain't nothing wrong with telling your man, hey, babe, the light bill is on the 22nd. I'm just reminding you. He might be a forgiveful person. That might be who he is. But you supposed to, wherever he's weak, you're supposed to be strong. And wherever you're strong, he's supposed to be strong.
Right.
It's a balance. It's a balance at the end of the day. Marriage is not all on the man. We got to get out of that.
Nobody never said that, but I
But
want you
there are-
to tell me why we can't go back. I'm still waiting.
I don't think we can go back in 2022. No,
But
We
we
can't.
won't.
we can't
We
go back
won't.
to. We can't go back to where a man does everything and a woman takes care of the house. We cannot go back to that.
It's upgraded. We can go back to those values, but it's just upgraded because you'll never take care of everything. Because now, remember, women know how to secure the bag. Back then,
Right.
they didn't.
Right.
We
Right.
got our driver's license. We got that at 16. So it's different. We can go back because we want those morals and standards and that value that those men had and that those women had. This is just the upgraded version.
Well, that's.
I got your
But
back.
we didn't say
So
that.
if you fall,
But we
don't
didn't
you
say that.
worry. I got your back.
We didn't say that. We just said we could go back. I'm just saying we can't go back to that.
Yeah, we can't
No,
go
not
back
just
to
that.
that.
No, we
We
gotta-
can't
That's
go
a
back.
different time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we cannot
Yeah,
go
it's a
back to
different
that.
time,
But
but I'm just saying.
before a minute, before a second, we also got to take into consideration, and nobody really thinks about this, how granddaddy and daddy and uncles are broke down at 60 and 70 years old right now because they carried everything. They can't see, they can't hear, they barely move,
Got a bad hip.
like whatever, because they carried the load, they carried the truck. And I
That's a
commend them
different
for it.
time.
Yes, I commend them for it.
And some of them were cheating at the same time.
That ain't got nothing.
They was
That
broken
ain't.
down. Yeah,
that
they
ain't got
was
nothing to
broken
do
down
with your
because they
truck.
had two families.
Cheat at the same time.
Yeah, but that ain't. But hey, look, you wasn't complaining because they wasn't complaining
Well, he
because he was
was.
taking care of the house.
My
So,
granddad
that's
was
they
complaining
business.
about that.
They ain't got nothing to do with that. I wasn't here. Look, so it's okay for him to cheat, long as he holding down the household. Don't make me go there. Okay, let's talk. Let's talk. Let's talk then. So we're gonna cut it off right there. We're gonna take, because I don't want to go there, because that's basically what it sounds like y'all was saying.
Hold on.
Jeez.
Let me say what I say. I don't need a man. This is what I mean. I raised 2 boys on my own. The black man. So when I say I don't need a man, I don't need you to come telling me, here you go. Because I'm a hustler. Boom. You don't have to come to me with your money. Push me. Show my boys. What you gonna show my boys? What? What are you gonna show them? He did that. He came in, he took them. See what I'm saying? Love on me. I don't want to love your pockets. I don't want to love your pockets. That's what I mean when I don't need a man.
Yeah. But I think a lot of men equip love with their money.
Exactly.
They lead with their money. But when you're not easily impressed, that's why I'm like, you talking about going Dutch or paying for my lunch, or not want to pay for my dinner. Sweetheart, I eat steak and lobster for lunch. And I do that on my dime. So I don't need you to come and lead with your dime. I need you to come in here and let me tell you my business plan and you tell me how to execute it. I need you, let me tell you this, and you say, well, I don't know about that, but I got a partner who work in this. So, oh, my mama knows. Like, help me mentally, emotionally, help me level up so that I can help you level up. Like, so that's what, when we say need, we done captured how to get some money. We done captured that. I need you to come in and be something else for me. I want to know when I'm going to the restroom and you grab that dough for me. You protected me. I feel safe with you. You held that door open for me. When I got up from the table, you stood up with that shivering and let me walk out. I like that. I shouldn't have to call you and say, I'm at home. You call me or you send me a text. We had a great time. I hope you made it home safely. Allow me to say, thank you, black man. I'm at home. Like, I'm talking about that. So the need is not necessarily financially. Me and my need, I want to be led differently. Help me in my mind, because I got so many ventures and things. And then even as a man, because a lot of men have a lot of dreams and visions, because that's what men do. But a lot of times the women be the executors. So share your dreams with me, baby. Let me tell you how we can get it. That kind of love. I ain't because we gonna get this money. If I don't, like she said, all I know is hustle. I had granddaddy and daddy too, great men. That's why I love black men. My grandfather was that provider. He had a carpentry company. My daddy was a provider until he died. So I know hustle. I got hustle. I need you to give me something else. When I read and understand the word of God, he ain't said nothing about no money. He talked about you protecting my heart.
Okay.
That's all I'm asking for.
That's my closing statement.
Talk
That's
to
your
me.
closing statement?
Talk to me, she said.
I guess my closing statement would be, I've never had any money. I'm not even gonna sit on this podcast, this show, whatever you want to call it, and act like I've had it all. I grew up in the slums. I grew up different. I grew up if when you leave out of the kitchen at night, it can be completely clean. You turn the lights on, you go in there in the middle of the night, the roaches scatter. That's the way I grew up. I don't know how to throw money in women's face and make them think that I got it all. That's not who Dion is. For those men that do that, some of you all I know, remember you was just like me growing up. You just so happen to get blessed and get some money. But if money is the only thing that you have to go off of, you've already lost. Life is about so much more, and women need so much more. I tell this story all the time. When I was married, me and my ex-wife, we didn't have a lot of money. But the reality of it is that was one thing in my house that we never argued about. You'll catch that on the way home. The reality of it is that I was more at peace and I was at my happiness when I didn't have nothing. What we have to do is we have to learn how to find peace in other things outside of finances and bring other things to the table. Men, our strongest asset, I'm only going to say this one time. Our strongest asset, no matter what color you are, is your brain. That's your strongest asset. The way the women have said on this panel that they would like for us to lead is with our brain. Moral of the story. Find a way to start leading with your brain because your pockets will run out. Other than that, I'm the beast.
I'm Blaq.
We out.